Apostle A.R Williams is now so concerned about voodoo in defending Trump. He's so concerned about voodoo now and the evil that voodoo practices represents. I'm wondering, since he's so concerned about voodoo, when are he going down to Louisiana? Has he ever been down to Louisiana? Has he ever gone down to the Mobile area? Southern, the Texas line, where this stuff, you want to talk about the Haitians, they practice voodoo. And back here, when them earthquakes tore up Hades about 15 years ago, I didn't hear nobody in America talking about the practices that goes on in Haiti. Not like they talking about it now. Ain't that strange? We all know about the Haitian practices. We all know what they do. We all know that that country is a voodoo. Is it voodoo or black magic? One of them things. We all know that that country indeed practice witchcraft. We know that. We always have known it. I have never heard the things about them that I'm hearing now. And I've been keeping my ears and eyes to the streets and the beats for years. When you go back to a few years ago when them earthquake tore up Hades, and a lot of money was raised for them people. We never heard anything like what we hearing now. Isn't it kind of suspicious? They eating cats. They doing this. They doing that. They doing that. They eat people. They practice voodoo. A.R. Williams so concerned now about the voodoo that being practiced. Is he on record leading the charge down to New Orleans? How far do you live from Memphis to New Orleans? Is only 6 hours. 6.5, depending where you starting from. 6.5, 7 hours. Has he been known for going down to New Orleans? I mean, we ain't got to go to Hades. We ain't got to go to Hades. If you want to talk about what's going on in Springfield, Ohio, as far as voodoo, now, why have you neglected to talk about what's been going on in New Orleans and down on the coast for centuries? Why haven't you tackled the voodoo and the black magic stuff with your own hands years ago? I ain't got to go back and do no research. I already know that he haven't touched it. He probably done been down in his younger years. I'm sure he probably done been down there preaching. I'm sure he probably done been down to the coast, Biloxi, all the way from Mobile westward, all across Louisiana. I'm sure in his years of preaching, he probably has been down to Mobile area, Louisiana, preaching. But has he ever led the charge to go into them places to preach out black magic, voodoo? I think they practice a variety of different witchcraft down there. Depending on what section you go in, it kind of changes. It's a little different depending on their culture. Voodoo, black magic, it's another one. It's quite a few of them. We ain't got to go to Haiti. We know the history. We know what go on right here in America. And that's been going on for centuries. So why are we been ignoring that? But now we want to talk about how bad voodoo is in their practices. They sacrifice animals and cats and stuff like that. And they were now it's so bad now. Trump was right. Trump was right. Thank God God allowed Trump to speak on this. Trump ain't never talked about black magic and voodoo in America. Trump been in America for all his life. He ain't never talked about it, has he? When Katrina tore up New Orleans, I don't recall hearing conservative preachers or nobody talking about how bad the voodoo practice is and it need to be eradicated. I don't recall hearing any preachers talking about it. Now that they're supporting Trump and trying to make Trump look right and holy over the things he say, now they go, well, they up there doing voodoo. Trump don't have no idea what he's saying. Trump just saying some stuff. Whatever somebody tell him to say, he just go out there and repeat it. That man don't have no wisdom, have no knowledge. He was just in Ohio. Was it Ohio? A few months ago, when that train derailed, that toxic stuff. Did Trump make mention about voodoo then? When Trump went to Ohio and tried to play hero, about 6 or 7 days after that train derailed, he gonna go up there, try to show the people, see, it's safe. Yeah, why he didn't go up there a day after, 2 days after? Why did you wait almost a week before you went? You had to get clearance. You wait till a lot of the Texas came back. You waited till it aired out some. A.R Williams, have you ever preached against voodoo, black magic, whatever all the witchcraft that's been going on in the United States prior to this? Are you on record? Are you on record going down to New Orleans, going down to Baton Rouge, going down to Lafayette, going down to all them cities where Louisiana, that they practice that stuff. Have you taken your church? Have you taken up a mission to go down there and preach out voodoo? Huh? Have you gone out and are you on record prior to Trump, prior to now, preaching against voodoo? Have you gone down there yourself to New Orleans and preached against this stuff? Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Hammond. Have you gone down to them in them areas? Shreveport. Lake Charles. Have you gone down there? We know voodoo practices been going on down there very heavily for centuries. I grew up hearing truck drivers, people find out, they tell you, don't go down there and get involved with no woman from Louisiana. Whatever you do, avoid women from Louisiana. Avoid people from Louisiana. That's what they tell you. This stuff ain't hidden. Them witch doctors are down there. You don't live but seven hours from Louisiana. Have you ever taken your church? Have you ever took the charge to go down there? Apostle? 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 That's what the apostles did, right? God sent them out to preach the gospel. They had to go into them. They had to go into everywhere. Pretty much everywhere they went was ungodly territory. Preaching from the pulpit all your life. You probably don't. I ain't gonna say you ain't never went down to New Orleans. I'm not gonna say you never went to Baton Rouge and all down in there. But I'm sure you ain't never went down there preaching against them voodoo folks. You ain't never went down there on what's that? The French Quarters preaching. They have that parade down there every year. Have you ever gone down there and preached the gospel? Oh, now you're concerned. Now you're concerned about people in voodoo, right? Now you're so concerned now, right? Trump was right. They eating people out. Don't the Bible says that everything that God created is good and fit to eat? So as long as you take it with Thanksgiving. What's wrong with the people eating cats, if they are? What's wrong with them eating ducks, geese, gooses? All this stuff is overpopulated. To me, I don't care if they are eating dog, cats, and whatever. They can come to my neighborhood and have all the dogs and cats they want. I ain't mad at them. And then the story about this woman, see, it's right. This woman over there eating cat. They said that one was arrested for mutilating a cat or something. People kill cats and animals all the time. Is there any proof that she was eating a cat? People love to take stuff and run with it, especially the conservatives. They throw stuff out there, people take it up and run with it. They doing abortions at the DMC. I'm not going to say they were. I'm not going to say it wasn't. But it was outside the DNC that Vance is supposed to be in. And is there any proof that they were conducting abortions? I have yet to see an actual report that somebody actually had an abortion. I seen some the other day said they conducted over almost 30, 40, 50 abortions in that van. I ain't seen nothing. I ain't seen nothing. Even from the conservative platforms, I haven't seen not one shred of evidence. Candace Owens mentioned it. A lot of conservative YouTube platforms, they talked about it, but nobody never produced any receipts. Nobody ever produced any evidence. The Haitians, they probably do practice the voodoo, but have y'all seen it? Has anybody actually seen it? Now we so concerned about voodoo now, right? We concerned about ungodly practices. But New Orleans, Louisiana, people been down there on the coast doing that stuff for years. And after Katrina hit, a lot of them people got dispersed and moved all, came north. A lot of the New Orleans people are around Memphis. A lot of them Haitian people are around Memphis. A lot of them people that come, all them different places that practice voodoo, a lot of people are living in and around Memphis area. Am I right? So we can sit up in the pulpit and push out and preach right-wing propaganda lies and dare anybody to call you out. And you feel like you're safe, right? Have you ever been known in your younger years when your knees were healthy, when you was able? I ain't gonna get down on you now, but let's rewind the clock back to your younger years. How long you been preaching, Pastor? Have you ever led the charge to go down to New Orleans, to the Gulf? Not just to preach in somebody's church where you got paid, but to actually go down there and do what apostles did. Preach the gospel. Go down there on the street. Bourbon. Is that Bourbon Street? French Quarter? I never been down there on Bourbon French Quarter. But if you're going to go down there and preach the gospel, then you fine. Have you ever taken your church down there and preached up and down the French Quarters? Have you ever gone down there? Remember that preacher in Memphis got killed down there in New Orleans some years ago? Did y'all go down there after that and preach the gospel? He was down there for a convention, I think. Was it a Baptist convention? They're preaching in Memphis. It was some suspicious about his death, they think. Because my understanding, he took it white. They were down there on a church convention, I think it was. But they say he took his wife back to the hotel. Then he went somewhere in the neighborhood, in a strange neighborhood or somewhere, and they murdered him. I don't know whatever came about that. A lot of people speculate that he was down there doing something he shouldn't have had no business doing. Because why did he take his wife back to the hotel? Then he went off to some neighborhood. I think he pastored that church over off of Macklemore. But did the preachers around Memphis go down to New Orleans after that preaching the gospel? No, they didn't. Did they go out there preaching down there and preach against the voodoo and the black magic stuff that's been coming out of there for years? No. No, they ain't do it. Not willing, ain't about to do it. A.R. Williams and the conservative preachers are no better than the Democratic preachers. They all do the same thing. Hide in the church and rob the people. Hide in the church and rob the people. Hide in the church, rob the people, and wear titles that's not for them. My wife is an elder. I'm an apostle. Don't make no sense.